Hello my friends. So as you're seeing here with my new little title card, I am going to try something a little different with this series of sculpts. Hopefully under an hour each. I'll try to get through as many as I can within the next week or so, depending on my time. Let me actually just jump right into it. Let's get right into the game. So, if you've been following along at all, and I certainly won't be hurt if you haven't been, yesterday night I made this little gal here in dedication to the lead Cranberry singer Dolores O'Riordan. May she rest in peace. And I actually drew a series of these characters. I've been watching all these different television shows, and let me turn down the music just a little bit. Wait, I'll do it over on the desktop. Hold up. I always find it to be a little louder than I like. This is my Discover Weekly playlist on Spotify, so it's always sort of fun to listen to it because I do not know algorithmically what they've picked for me based on my tastes. That's a little bit better. I'm sure you can hear me better now. So I'm gonna go make this little orcish looking guy tonight. I don't have a name for him yet. And so I have a plan, sort of a dual plan, to take all these little characters into new spaces and make them move, but make them move in different environments. So my sort of life hacky way of approaching all these things in VR over the last 6 months, or really more recently, maybe in the last quarter, is to kind of try to tackle two different processes at once within the flow of a pipeline. You know, because if I'm really looking at this from more of a perspective of not just art, but how do I bring the most amount of polish? And you know what? While I'm yammering away, I'm just actually going to start. Well, I don't know if I can do two things at once right now, to be honest. Speaking of trying to tackle two things, and I might talk more on that later, but for now, why don't I kind of shut up and let the sculpting speak for itself? I think that's best. So again, we start off with our base here. And the reason why I actually have the other piece up at the same time is to make sure that I stay very, very consistent in regards to style. Not that they'll all really totally match each other, but even just the consistency in terms of the level of, you know, she's really, really simple. And, you know, it's another reason why I would keep these short. I don't want to become too precious with them to the point where it becomes like, you know, I'm overly working them. That's partially due to my own laziness, most likely. But I also think characters like this read better. I do like this song. I might have to turn this up a little bit more. Hold up. Wow, it's a Bastille version of this song. I'm sure someone out there could name within 3 notes what the original 80s band is. Give you tiny little nostrils. There we go. I don't know where I'd be in life without this lovely move tool. And you know, a friend of mine the other day was making the observation that the Oculus development team was very cognizant of not only the tactile nature, but the sound. Sometimes I really take that for granted. There's something about sound that some of the other programs haven't quite tackled, or really haven't really thought through how kind of precious that is, and what it does psychologically, the cues. I really want to give him like a serious overbite, so maybe it should be nice and kind of starting to look like the Monopoly Man. You know what we should do? Let's bring this out even further. We really want it to be still gotta look kind of orky. I cannot wait. I'm really saving the hair for last, by the way, so that's my cherry on the top. I gotta give myself a reward too, you know? It's a really interesting interpretation of the cover of the song. I kinda wanna flatten this out. I wonder if that would work. It's almost like a Hellboyish sort of look I want, but like the cartoon version. Like a, whatchamacallit, super deformed version of a Hellboy. You have to be careful, I'm already starting to give him more angles than I'd like. Let's start inflating. Just want a big old chin there. I know I usually reserve this for the booty, but for today, we want a big old chin. Yeah. It's blocking the ears. Still getting used to being able to do that with the applicator. I think I want this pretty big, huh? A little bit bigger than the drawing. Oops. And I might give that more. He's looking very Shrekky right now. I don't know if that's a good thing. No, it's really good. We're piggish, right? Ooh. It's more of a chubs. That could be more inflated. So you're starting to sort of see my general process, but like sort of my favorite tools to use. So yeah, maybe I can more comfortably talk about where I'm sort of taking these guys. You know, the sort of the finishing tool I tend to take these pieces into now are Unity, but I'm also thinking about VRChat. VRChat sounds like it's sort of all the rage these days. So I brought up in the previous. I'm losing my concentration really quickly. So let me just focus on which stamp I want to use first here. Yeah, I think of this as an opportunity to be able to use, not use, but ramp up in different pieces of software very quickly. And the only way I know how to do that personally is to give myself assignments, you know, just like it's a real client job, because that's the best way I learn. Keeps me very, very honest. It's really fun to give us ridges, but again, I want to keep to that. See, that's why that keeps me honest. Keep me honest. Actually, I have a feeling this is going to look quite a bit different from my drawing. I mean, you can already see it already, but part of it is the expression. Yeah, so I was saying, learning through doing, right? I mean, it goes without saying, that's kind of how we all tend to learn things, I feel like. And for me, it's very, very true. I'm going to make a lot of like mistakes, mostly in private, thankfully. But Unity has been really, really kind of a fun way for me to sort of bring all these different things in. So not only from Oculus Medium, but also from Tilt Brush, Atom VR, which is my other very, very, very favorite program, and then Google Blocks as well. So, you know, with all four of those programs alone, and obviously there are other ones out there, so I'm going to put the teeth in the hair and probably the body on a different layer. I think that's my plan with that. And the expression, kind of like what I did with D-Lo on the right. I'm calling her D-Lo, by the way. Stuff like that. Smile. Dimples. Oh, I cannot get enough of them inflate. Clearly. Yeah, it's nicer if it's a little closer. I really think the hair is gonna really bring this alive. Or maybe that's just what I'm telling myself. It's a little scary actually, but I am going to play with the shape a little bit. When in doubt, inflate, right? Totally. Don't get too far away. Okay. The nose really has to go up higher. It's really picky. Yeah. the key there. And guess what? Inflate. It's almost looking like a strange Japanese mask or something. You know what, let me not get too precious with the face. I really should move on to the body a little bit. And save. Ooh, get on it. I did push the res up 1. I really don't know if that's really giving me that much more detail, to be honest. I'm always a little scared on this laptop. Too hard. I really don't have very much RAM in here. Something I need to rectify soon. Okay. Let's name that. Oops. So the learning in trying to get this into other programs, whether or not, for example, I've been trying with Mixamo, which is a fun Adobe acquired sorry. Always getting off track with myself here. Adobe, I totally just gave him boobs. I'm gonna apologize for that. It is so much trial and error, is basically what I'm trying to say. I mean, of course, right? But there are so many things I run into. I've like, you go through so many forums, and it's half of it is really like interfacing with the community, which if I haven't said so enough, I'm really loving the VR community. I think we're all in this space of really just wanting to help each other out as much as possible, because we all know that not only is it fun, but you know, there's a lot of struggle involved in it too. And so that empathy really kicks in, I think, in regards to how we treat each other. So yesterday I made the mistake of actually having her outstretched hands that way. It should be the other way. Because when I've mapped motion capture movements on her, which is what Mixamo does, really cool actually. I might give him similar mitten hands though. That might be the way to go there. So I want more of that than anything else. Give him little claws though. That might be cute. I'm gonna do that. So far I think I'm sort of still within the range. His head's much bigger than hers, but it's actually too big now that I'm looking at it. Let's do something about that, shall we? Before we go too much further with it. In fact, I'll do the body. It's going for the center, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's better. And maybe a little bit down. I think it's a little too, I mean, I don't want to, God forbid he should be able to move his head at all. But yeah, I think we need you to be moved down ever so little. Yeah, I think that's good, right? Ooh, already dancing, already dancing. Don't worry, we'll give you teeth soon. Okay. I love that when these sculpts are sort of in their Michelin Man mode, you know? Just look like they're made of tires. I want to get real hunchy here. Be careful, it's not too. Whoop, what's happened there? It's safe.
It's been so dark lately.
This playlist isn't too bad so far.
I need to see in your eyes.
If you find that I briefly take off the helmets because the rig, it's because I am actually saving a song that I like. Don't freak out on me. You know what? We are going to give you little tiny digits.
It's been so dark lately. I need to see in your eyes. See in your eyes. Can't take this much, baby. I need to see in your eyes. See in your eyes.
Yeah, that's fine. He's looking like a straight up gargoyle. That's not exactly what I wanted. Today feels, I'm a little off tonight, I feel like. That's okay though. It's actually kind of important to have those nights where not everything's quite 100%, you know. I'm constantly humbled by everything I'm doing in here. And honestly, seeing what everybody else is doing is like crazy humbling for me. And I know I've made strides in the past. A large part of the reason, I like this view of him, a large part of the reason why I do these videos, I mean, I'm not even very sure if anybody, let alone watches them, but also, I don't know if people really can really learn from these videos. It's also selfishly kind of a marker for me, because I've been doing this for almost exactly 6 months to the day. You know, just diving into VR is what I'm saying. Like, I literally started with this program. It's just a good way to sort of have markers for the journey. So you don't really ever, you know, I forgot that I'm not on that layer. It's like a hippopotamus gargoyle? I don't know what's going on here. Let's play a little bit with the move to a layer. So yeah, my bent is also to really, as I'm learning two things at once, for example, if I'm trying to get something to Unity or use a new feature of NMVR, or, you know, make avatars for VR chat that actually are totally functional, by the way, which I know is possible, I just haven't physically done it yet. All that learning is great, at least in my mind it is. It's good practice towards, what is that? I'm hearing an alert, but I don't know what it means. Okay, hopefully that's not the battery on this. If it is, that means we gotta shove off for the night. And it's okay. Okay, time to do something else besides a Nope, wrong end. Come on, Kevin. Oh, no, that should be on a different level. Yeah. We'll do all the teeth on a different, all the knobby bits. The knobby bits. On a totally different, Put that elbow. Oh, good old steady stroke. I like the way that looks. Maybe not so butt up against. What do you think? More. By the way, I was watching the Netflix movie Will Smith orc fantasy a la Alien Nation buddy adventure film Bright while drawing this. I don't even know if it's obvious, but that's exactly what I was doing. Okay, so those are the ridges. Oh, maybe I should make little, like I said, okay. Cutesy little claws. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Okay, safe. Scratch, 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 scratch. Okay, back in. I'm kind of determined to make this face really work. Uh-oh. It's going on in the background there. I don't like that. What did that mean? Huh. Everything's kind of acting up.
There's a place you hold, I left behind.
Okay. I'm gonna go as long as I can. Brace against the clock. Let's give you eyebrows. Shall we? Not eyebrows, we're mentioning eyelids. It's pretty cute, actually. Oh. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of ridging. Oh, that really... Let's bring down the strength a little bit. I see it's also happening because it's on a different layer. It's okay. I'll keep that for now. I might erase that later. Again, I have to be a little bit careful of the move tool because it affects all the layers. Just want to give it a little bit more finesse. It's gonna have larger eyes in the drawing, that's for sure. She has larger features all over the place. I think kind of the charm of this was the squinty nature of it, but bring some smile. Actually, a little bit better. go to our rescue tool here. Whoops. Oh. Not even the right. Let's be careful. I think the problem is too that I have a lot of kind of a lot happening right here. I need to sort of soften things up generally. Ooh. Say it, girl. I don't know, I'm obsessed with like getting that nose right. I just am. You know, I might need a little bit of clay around there to really make to sell it. That ridge especially. Let's see if we can do something here. Kind of works. Okay. Pray that. Okay, that's good. Forgot the tail, by the way. That'll eventually go in there. I haven't even thought about color, by the way. Maybe bluish, like the bright character. You know what? We're gonna jump ahead. I'm gonna go straight for the hair. I can't wait. No, crazy, just crazy. Okay. No, we do not need mirror mode for this. Kevin, get it together. Reset. There we go. So don't want to bunch it up too much. It starts looking like a big holy mess. But I don't want it to be... varying the length and size are also very important. This is kind of where the res issue starts coming in. How far back should it go? Yeah, that's good. Just a little punky enough. We want to fill in that little. I do like this list tonight. It's pretty kind of sassy. A little sassy face. Then we want to.
You always keep me guessing, and I never seem to know what you are thinking.
4?
And if a fella looks like you, it's for sure your little eye will be a winking. I get confused 'cause I don't know.
Get out of here with your hair.
And then you smile and hold my hand. Love is kinda crazy with a spooky little girl like you.
I'm going to check where we are on time, because I do not want to take up too much time tonight either. Teeth? What do I call this? Bone? Let's call this bone. Okay. Let's get another one in here. What was I going to do next? Remind me, folks, what was I going to do next? I really need to attend to this face. There is something I wanted to do. Anyways, let me check time.
Decide someday to stop this little game that you are
Oh, we're not too
playing.
bad. 35 minutes. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you all that my heart has been dying to be saying. Just like the ghost.
Okay, I'm a little delirious.
in my dreams, so
Gotta forgive me, I'm coming off a week of being sick.
on Halloween.
We'll do that tail. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I want to do a tail. Now that I think about it.
Like you.
Because I'm also not sure how that will, no, it shouldn't mess up the rig, actually. I'll make a little small. That's an obscene emotion, Kevin. Stop it. Yeah, I might do something back there. Not as extravagant as all that. I forgot to give him little claws on the toes. How horrible of me. Yeah, let's do that. I honestly forgot what it is that I'm supposed to. Oh, eyebrows, of course. Duh. Okay. Give them a little bit of a little shake. There we go. Nice. Same goes for the back. I don't know if you'll ever see that. A little bit more tooth there. Love it. Nice. Okay, let's do those eyebrows, shall we? I like that. But you know what? I really should have at least that not symmetrical. There we go. Better. I don't honestly know if the way I'm doing these layers is really the best way to go. I'm sure many people who are 3D generalists have a much better floor plan for all that. I do profess to not be a 3D generalist, and if you've seen any of my past videos, I've always said that I'm a 2D illustrator and a MoGraph dude, so I come from that world. It's quite different. That's why a lot of this is so much trial and error for me, because it's really learning a lot of things purely from scratch. Watching YouTube tutorials and asking people what they do, and a lot of this is really not being afraid to ask, you know? Sounds like a given, but you'd be surprised. You're not too bad. Okay, let me think through this. Sorry, I'm pausing a little bit here. While I'm pausing, I'm gonna have you do a little bit of a spin for all of us. That booty, though, I just can't help it. I'm always going a little nuts with the booty. I might add a little bit of scales here and there. How about, what do you think about that? Just random scales to sort of give it a little bit more pop. Especially when colored. Yeah, just do something about the back of the head too. Okay. Oops. Come back around. There we go. A tail. Let's do that. Let's take care of that bit of nonsense. Actually, I'm on the right tool already. Where do I want to put it? I don't know what that looks like, but let's keep it G-rated here, Kev. Keep it G-rated. Yeah, it's starting to look a little bit. Hold up. Okay, that's a little bit better. Cool. Just short enough. There we go. Okay, what is it I want to do? Oh, of course I'm not on the head level. Everything comes back to the head. Kind of falling back on the lips a little too hard, huh? I mean, sorry, the inflate button. I don't know what it is. I'm not somehow happy with some. I think he's pretty cute. I just can't. Or kawaii. Is it something about? Well, you know what? I should play with the. Bit of asymmetry there is always good. Even down to the anatomy of the ear. Yeah, let's give it. Oh, you know what I also want? I want to give you. Let's add this back to the bone layer because I think the bone layer is going to be a lot of like off yellow colors. I want to. Is there a smaller ring? In the meantime, I will do the donut. Because... Oops. Oops. Come on. That's good. I totally just pierced you. How do you feel about that? Ah, you know what? I can put this on the eye because I want this to be somewhat emissive. There we go. 70. Sure, why not? Let's keep that in. Not so big. There we go. Perfect. I'm actually really tired. Now I'm just gonna go crazy.
love you, but it's not enough.
I find myself so
Baby, I just
kind of
know
just not sure of
there's so much more.
just how to make this sing a little bit more. And I think it's good for you to see that I'm in that space because, well, that's good. I actually unintentionally made that asymmetrical. A little bit of bumps here and there. What did I say earlier? I said I would give him, poor thing, he's really got banged up, didn't he? But out of all the characters I'm going to do over the next days, he's probably the one I'm going to do this the most with. Yeah, let's do something with the body. And I'm not going to wrap up. I don't know if you really need to see me go through all the coloring and stuff. You'll see the results later. Oh, you know what I want to do here? Really quick. Is give this a little bit of, yeah, is that the body? Am I in the body? It's always good to do this little ridge so you can see where you're out of. Yeah, that's good. Even for these. Just a little bit of a hint. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Ooh, that looks odd. I actually really love this donut tool. It's great. There we go. Let's do 1, 2 here. I keep forgetting. Patches. Get on it. And you notice I'm not going through too many stems. I think people can kind of tell when you're, especially with something as simple as this, if you're overworking the design in some ways, you know? I think it's important to sort of stick to 5 or 6 stamps at most. Huh, is this who I think it is? Oh, you know what though? I'll keep that one where it is. I should do this on a different. It's all about that bone layer. Sounds like Fleet Foxes. If you need to keep time on me, when I need to, I'll keep time. I think for this to really read well, it probably would have to be more high res. But I'm not going to bother too much with that right now. I really need these guys to be able to move well. And by that I mean once they're rigged, the poly can't be too high. I sound like I know what I'm talking about, by the way. I bloody well don't. But I know enough to know that you don't want to tax the system too much in terms of, well, especially my system. I feel like someone's just keeping time on me right now. Is that really against the surface of the skin? Yeah, it is. So again, varying up sizes, always good. Asymmetry. You know? Although these characters really aren't as asymmetrical as they probably should be. I think it's all in the name of keeping them simple, too. I'm really not trying to spend hours on this. This looks like a scarification tattoo or something. Yeah, just little things. How about the cheeks?
When I first met you, baby, you were floating up above.
I don't know why I haven't dreamt these sounds yet. One of my friends says it sounds like shaving cream.
I fell so hard. I fell so hard. Didn't think twice. Didn't think twice. You broke my heart. You broke my heart. You were not nice. You were not nice. Why'd you go and treat me like that? Why'd you go acting like that?
Yeah, I think we are done for the night. Let us... We don't need those stinking skybox. Furthermore, I don't know if we need these guys up. I need you up, just for reference. I don't know how different he's going to turn out the next time you see him. And I may even, the next time I come back around, hopefully this week, I may show you a little bit more about where I'm taking them. Just as a tease. I am working, just to let you know, I'm also working on a whole street sequence, street scene in Google Blocks, and hopefully I can bring these guys into that. I don't know how much of that will involve Anim VR or Unity, but I'm going to plan all those environments as best I can. In the meantime, hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time on Kawaii Corner. Take care.
You broke my heart. You broke my heart.
Ooh, into his brain.